This is where love gets honest. We've been searching through the noise, trying to hear our hearts speak clear. Yeah, dating with intention now, letting go of fear. Learn to love me first, yeah. Healing all my scars. Now I'm showing up whole, knowing who you are. No more settling for less. I choose truth, I choose me. If it's real, let it grow. If it's fake, let it be. Affirm the real. Love that feels, love you can feel. We speak life, yeah, we reveal. Hearts align, this love is real. Affirm the real. Love starts here.
Yes, sir. I feel that intro, man. Every time. Every time. It shakes.
Yeah, I get it. I feel I get it, little vibe to it. You
Yeah.
know. Next time I'm gonna sing myself. I'm gonna lay the tracks, my vocals.
Go ahead, sir. He said,
Yeah.
don't need no AI. He said,
Yeah. I'm gonna be like Eddie Kane. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, sir.
That ain't.
Love like this. Oh man.
Oh man, that was. So, I don't want to start getting off track with that classic movie. Babe had it on. It's like I can go in and out, and I can pick up on what's going on at each moment.
Yeah, that's a classic that only certain people can relate to, man. You had to be there to watch that from the beginning.
Next generation, tune in. After we you watch Affirm The Real.
Of course.
Speaking of young folks got this thing, the words they're using now. It's called crashing out.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that?
Yes, I have.
They got every time you turn around, somebody crashing out. And remember back in the day when we was getting down with Affirm The Real podcast, and we was always put a definition up.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, crashing out. I ain't allowed to read. I was about to read it, but I heard a voice in the back of my head. So can you please
go
read
insane, freak out, or do something extremely foolish and reckless without thinking about the consequences, repercussions.
Right, exactly. Crashing out is nothing new. It's the verbiage that's being more
modern slang.
Yeah, exactly.
These were the I remember growing up in elementary, junior high. These were the bad kids that got put in timeout or ISS because they couldn't blend in with normalcy. They had to do something that causes outlandish behavior. They needed a timeout.
Right, but we're going to talk about crashing out in a specific manner.
Yeah,
crashing out after a breakup.
Mm.
When we crack, how can I put this? Is it bad to really crash out after a breakup?
Is that a statement or a question?
A little both.
It's bad if you inject it in a negative way that affect yourself or others physically, because crash out could be an emotional cry because of a situation didn't turn out good. People may call it crash out. We call it just needs to cry it out, right? You just need to get that emotion out, right? You might scream, you might yell, but when you apply that with actions, now you got to crash out because of an emotional breakup or because of a breakup or she don't want you no more.
Well, let's think about right, but let's think about it. Well, without thinking about the consequences.
Yeah.
Crash out. Man, F this chick. Blah, blah, blah. So, guys, I'm going to do for you right now. I'm going to play you a video.
Go ahead, sir.
I know you haven't seen this video, but this is how you crash out.
This is how we do it properly.
This is how, you want to crash. This is how you're going to crash out. Let's do it.
Bitch, how you want to do it? How you want to do it?
That's how you crash out.
I've
It's
seen
funny. It's
similar
funny. We
videos.
look at it. It's funny to an extent.
Yeah.
I could say it's sad, or I could say it's a process. How would you interpret that particular type of crash out? Because I want to get
It's-
down to how we crashing out and if it's good or bad.
we have to look at it at certain levels. It's sad, first of all, because you have no emotional composure. I don't know how these people were raised or what was taught to them. Sometimes these you can tell because you got the home training. But beyond that, you have to see what he's recording his actions. He's putting it on social media as if he wants that attention. He's basically crying out for attention. He wants attention. So he's crashing out and putting it on social media. Back in the days, we didn't have that. So people, whoever that around and saw, then they would hype it up, right? Because I'm gonna give them a show. But now social media comes into the limelight and people want to show how they crash out or this is what I did. I'm gonna one up the next person. That is sad. That's sad.
Right. So you're right. It is very, very sad. Um, the thing about it, honestly, hold on. The thing about it, honestly, is if you reacting that way and you crashing out over the breakup, do you crash out during the relationship at all? If I see this action now, do did I see this before, or
Ooh.
would I see this action if we, which is often as time, the norm, and I'm not saying for young folks, I'm saying for all folk. We make ups to breakups. We get back together. We break up. We go back together. You know now, and so now I'm seeing this. I'm seeing all of this, and like, was this always in you? I'm just saying.
Red flags. People oversee it. Um, meet somebody on the first time you meeting them, and they're texting you 15 messages in a row. Well, you're not responding. You're not responding. All caps letters. Da, da, da. Then you finally say, you know, I'm tired of this person texting me or calling me. Let me just answer one of these calls. Oh, by time you pick up the phone, that's the first sign of a toxic trait. The next time she's gonna cut your tires. The next time she's gonna bust your windows, Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah. So I want to focus on consequences
Okay.
or lack of
Okay.
consideration of consequences.
Yeah.
Just for and I'm not the focus. I'm not today is not squarely on this video.
Mhm.
It's squarely on it's majority on how we respond to one of the most adverse situations of the human emotion.
Yeah.
In this case, the the guy tore the house up, if it's his place or her place. When you finally sit down and you look at this, what the consequences like, the repairs, this, that, or the other,
Calls.
to clean up the cost. But now guess what? But because we crashed out, and in this instance, our emotional or lack of emotional intelligence, guess what? Guess the next thing. Guess what the next step is not saying, "Damn, I don't did some crazy. I went wild, didn't I?" It's like we're gonna transfer the blame. Look what you made me do.
Mm. Point the finger.
Yeah, this was this is your fault.
Mm.
You know, as I start learning more and more about things like manipulation, which was never in my realm, in prior years, but things like that. But we have to understand the consequences and accountability. So in this case, he was she cheated on him. Oh
Okay.
yeah, a lot of us been in cheated on, and a lot of us did a lot of things. But the crash out. Now one could say, this is how I process.
Hmm.
I'm getting my emotions out. I'm doing this. So I want to like physically do something to somebody else. Why? I mean, so as no as I play the advocate, like I generally do. What if it is a process of getting releasing emotion, like just open your chest, like get it out of me? Is it necessarily bad?
It's more to it. Let me explain to you. I'm going to get real personal here. You
Okay.
remember at the beginning of before we came on live, you told me watching this show shouldn't trigger anyone unless they've been in a situation like that. It does trigger me, and I'm gonna explain why. Uh, I was in a relationship with my kid's mother, and she would have situations like that. I came home one day and a situation like that took place. Now, there are some more things in there that I'm not going to discuss right now. I mean, we have a cigar, we'll talk about it, but some situation like that took place. Now, people say that's a red flag. You should have noticed that from the beginning. Yes. However, I was young and you don't quite process things the same when you're young compared to when you're later in life. And the reason I say that because I'm overlooking situations that I should have got a better understanding to. And one of the reasons was she was bipolar.
Mm,
So again, the actions that she did, consequences are there because people got hurt emotionally and physically. However, understanding why it was just not a outlash, it was more of a body chemical reaction, and that was the outburst of it. Now you see that in little kids, young as 5, maybe ADHD or ADD, bipolar, schizophrenic, all that. But once I witnessed that and then experienced that and then been in it and lived through that, I'm always triggered when I see a video like that because it could have came out 10 times worse. I could not have been here because of that. But I had to use my quick-witted thinking and my mental process of what I learned to cope in situations like that to make sure that everybody is safe. And then you move forward after that. You start making changes and reactions to say, okay, that was it. That's the last straw. I gotta go. You gotta go. We gotta figure out something because I'm not living like that. It only took one time for me to see that toxic.
wow.
Yeah.
Uh, Thank you for sharing, my
You're
man.
welcome, man.
Yeah, that was an eye opener. You know, that
Got the
glimpse.
scars. I got the scars to prove it, but that's another
Yay.
story. Wow. Yeah.
So as I process your story, and thankfully that you said it could be 10 times worse. Thankfully, it wasn't. And in that case, it was a medical disorder.
Yeah.
So I have some grace for that because that's something that it was medical.
Proper diagnose could catch that early and change a person's perception and outcome, taking proper medication or treatment, things of that nature. But when you're young and you don't know, you have pent up anger or pent up emotions, the outburst looks like this, like you're crashing out.
Yeah. And this is why we have these
Thanks.
conversations,
Yeah,
because maybe we don't know the whole story.
exactly.
I could look at this video and I see, oh, this dude is doing the most.
Mhm.
Just from your story, now it's like, okay, maybe there was a some kind of mental disorder that we're not privy to.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we really have to be advocate for is, and I know you are a big supporter of it as well. Um, mental health, in that case, now because this conversation, I am really processing different from your story.
Mhm.
I'm really thinking, oh, mm. So no longer the 2D. Now I'm transitioning to the 3D. What's the other layer of a crash out?
Mhm.
A lot of times we look at crash out as in younger world and social media, crash out as a way to get attention.
Yeah.
But maybe it started off as something that wasn't meant for attention, but was meant for our help.
Yeah. It is um, something that requires attention. On both sides, you're asking for attention and it requires attention because when people sit there and just record someone crashing out, that makes them continuous because it's like, oh, I'm seeking help in my own way, but you're not providing it. You're just allowing me to continue. And sometimes you have to find a way to disrupt the continuity of the crash out because they can come to a point they can hurt themselves or they can hurt someone physically seriously. And now you got a whole nother situation
Mm,
to unfold.
yeah.
So yeah, there's some layers we're gonna peel back tonight, sir. And this is
Let's
definitely
shit.
a
Let,
great
let,
topic.
let's do it.
Yes.
Because these things have to be addressed
Mhm.
and through a general conversation.
Mhm.
Maybe we all need a lesson in, and then I said I won't talk red flags, but signs and signals of certain irregularities in somebody's mental health.
Yeah.
Even as being a partner,
Yeah.
you tend to look at like, is this person okay? This is not the usual.
Yeah.
And more often than not, we get upset and mad, like, why are you acting this way? Instead, like you said, peeling it back and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe it leads to the breakup, and which it could turn into a crash out.
Or
Because
someone.
right, because we was reaching out. I was drowning. I didn't, and this is not nobody's fault. I didn't know how to ask or reach for help. And now I'm really getting emotional because I'm thinking like, wow, even there are times in my life
Mhm.
when I don't know how to ask for help.
That's so true. That is so true. I vouch for that with you, sir.
Yeah, and it might even be minuscule to us
Mhm.
that, but not knowing to open up and instead of, because we often as guys and friendly and people of a giving or nice nature, we often hold a hand like this, palm
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
but we never reach out like this with our palm down, grasping, help save me. I'm
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And because I know we often talk about ego and pride, and I don't know, because I'm not a therapist, I don't know all the reasons why we never reach with palms down
Yeah.
until it's too late, until our nose is below the waterline.
Yeah.
We can't breathe. Um, we gotta figure that out. Is that a and I like I said, I don't know the answer. I do know that a step, is surrounding you with a good friend or two, surrounding yourself with a reliable therapist. Even then, that takes time. we don't always scream or holler for help at the beginning. We
Yes,
don't know. We don't
because
always trust.
it takes a couple of cycles. And so let's continue peeling this onion back. So
Okay.
we're talking about crash out, being a mental situation in which someone may be bipolar, schizophrenia, ADHD, and they don't know how to ask. So let's take this for another level. When I was in high school, I took some classes in which we had to work with mentally challenged kids. And this is what brings me so compassionate about this because they couldn't really speak. They may say, mumble a couple of words, but their sole lives depended on you understanding and reading them and being able to determine whether or not they need help. And one of the guys I remember, he had a condition in which if he gets too hot from running around because he likes to run around and play and wrestle and basketball, whatever, football, he would pass out. And so when I first got into the course, I didn't know why he was wearing a football helmet. People make fun of him, but I finally learned that it's because if he passes out, he's going to hit his head. He's just going to fall out. He can't catch his balance. So I'm like, oh, okay. So now I have to be able to understand when he's at that point where he needs water, he needs to be hydrated, he needs to be cool, he needs to be relaxed, he needs to be calm because now people that understand see him as crashing out. I never saw that because I am there to make sure I understand, support, and help him through that process. And that gave me a lot of compassion for people who be in those situations.
Yeah. So I applaud, you seeing that through a clear lens.
Mhm,
You know, at high school, I wasn't that person. I probably wouldn't have seen it all the way.
mhm,
I would have probably followed the crowd and joked about it. Through our maturity and experiences,
mhm,
and it's kind of, and I know I'm maturing because I was at the VA hospital yesterday, well, and there was a homeless person in the hospital in the caf. He wasn't mentally right. You could tell by his clothes. He had disability with his arm and how he was moving. And I understood. I didn't, and he was close to and he was like in line to get some food. To
yeah,
get, I didn't shut my nose up. I'm like, I didn't stare. And I think to myself, at one point in time, I was stared, this, move, another. And I was like, oh, snap, my screen did something crazy. In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, he has a situation, his situation. He deserves to be here just as much as I deserve to be here. He did his part, this and that and other. I'm like, and it never dawned at me. It was like to make fun of it, laugh at it. I was like, okay.
yeah,
And and that's just how I'm saying, like, we're seeing things so different. You know, it was clearly he had a mental condition. But like I said, for us now, when you found it when you discovered it in high school, I discovered it later in my life, but
yeah.
these things are now we're understanding. So
Yes,
even with the crash outs, now you making me even understand more, like understanding a crash out of mental health or a crash out of clicks, or crash out because you just need to you need to understand your emotions better,
yeah,
which in turn is a mental thing that has to be addressed somehow. Not to say you're mentally disabled. You just never learn or took steps to control, or I won't say control, steps to deal with your
yeah.
emotions.
What about this scenario situation? So people crash out. We usually see the after effects, right? This is the end of the sum of the parts. What if a crash out is a accumulation of someone? cheating on you, emotionally batting you, physically batting you to the point that they're pushing your buttons that you only react like that to get their attention or get someone else's attention, more like crying out again because you're not gonna continue to defy me like this. I need to let you know that I am a human, I'm a person, I can fight back too, right? And that's another level of crash out when someone's pushing your buttons to the point that you can't take no more. You're like, I'm gonna show this person that hey, I mean business too.
Yes. So 90% of people, and this is not a this is a Marcus fact, not a fact you can go look on Google. 90% of people have that trigger. It's just about knowing how to activate that trigger.
Mhm.
One thing I always said is the one you closest to, the one that you in love with, they know the button, they know the nuclear button, the nuclear code for you.
Yeah,
They know what to push to make you go nuclear.
yeah.
And unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, when you're ingrained in a true relationship,
Hmm.
you you trust them with that code.
Yeah.
You trust them with that code, and you trust them not to do evil with that code. What I mean by evil is doing it, manipulating and harming or anything to make you crash out
Yeah.
intentionally
Yeah.
for their purposes.
Hmm.
It's just evil, plain and simple. So I feel that is just wrong, and have some of us probably did it before, willingly or unwillingly, or knowingly and unknowingly. And the consequences and ramifications,
Got the big words today. Look at
yeah,
it.
it may not be what you want.
You're right. 'Cause consequences, the consequences of your actions. So when people crash out, whether it be in social media, whether it be in real life, in person, relationships, situationships, when people crash out, would we consider that a lack of maturity, or is it because they've never had their crash outs addressed or even checked at the door? I mean, that guy, like, he probably ain't his first time doing something like that. And ain't nobody ever told him to stop it. Don't do it again. This is wrong. He looks like he's a young cat. Maybe there's some maturity things there. How do you feel about that, sir?
And I mean, I can co-sign that because at a young age, we do at younger ages, or I should say, lack of our emotional, intelligence or emotional maturity as our point in our life. You know what his friends probably did? They ain't trying to check it. They laughed at his ass.
That's
Look
what
at
I'm
him.
talking about.
Look
Yeah,
at him go.
yeah,
Look at him.
yeah.
Look at him.
Video of
Here we
food.
go.
Video of food. Yeah, look at
Watch, and watch when they break up again. Like, then they gonna play in his face, man. If if she cheated on me like that, I'd probably do the same damn thing. Man, I feel you.
yeah.
That what was man. Matter of fact, go get hey, go, what you want to do? You want to matter of fact, I tell you what, just play. Hey, go holler at a friend. Let's see what a friend want to do.
Oh wow.
You know, like all that lack of emotional, the stupid stuff that always come out. Or let's go get some more bitches. You broke up. Hey, you free now. You're not dealing with her.
I can definitely say that was a younger mind when I was told that and said that same thing, right?
All right.
Yeah, I was
You
at
want to read
that
that
point.
comment for me, please?
Yes, hardcore healing pen. Thanks for the earlier comment. Appreciate that. But she says that was me for many years. No one ever said anything. I crashed out often. It still was silky shit too, though. Wow. She did it smooth. With the VE.
Yeah. And often, and what happens? You need the real good tribe of people who have your best interests. Also, you need the people around you that who know how, who excuse me, I should say, are of a certain maturity. Because I can have your best interests, but if I'm just as immature as you are, come on now. But I'm gonna give you a. She meant to say silly, FYI. It was silly
She said
shit.
silky shit. She was smooth with it. She was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
ain't a stain on me. Bathrobe.
She's silky now. That's my baby. um, no, I was saying, oh shit, I forgot what I was saying. I got sidetracked.
You talking about
Oh,
the crash out.
yeah. Well, shit, the whole episode about the crash out. The I was saying something about the people around you have to be a certain maturity. If
Yeah.
they're not mature, even though they got your best interest, what are you doing? You're not progressing. Y'all not
So
progressing.
true. So true.
Oh, I will tell you. So there was a person on social media. He would break up with a girl, say all the BS on the social media, get back with a girl, and starts to saying, y'all thought this, da 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 da. Y'all was trying to holler, da 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 da. We back together, da da. Then you break up and you start talking bad mouth on the girl again. Let's talk about that type of crash out. The crash out of social media based of or slander or well, I don't know these legal terms. I'm bad with words. We talk putting that BS on somebody's name because you're no longer with them.
Is it all for the likes? Because if he can get back with her, apparently he liked her still.
I
He's
think it's more for
hurt.
sympathy.
Oh,
Yeah.
he want people on his side.
Yeah.
That's interesting
Oh,
because
baby.
the crash out again. I'm peeling back personal layers on my onion. My crash out never got physical, but I remember people say, "Go punch a wall if you're mad, right? Go turn over a table with you just don't harm nobody." And no, I never did that. That was not my way of handling it. So whenever I was teed off and a relationship didn't work out, or I really liked the girl and she decided to, we're gonna be together because she was no longer interested. So my crash out was to fuck my way through every next chick I met and kept going until I got to a point in life. I was like, I'm doing more emotional damage to myself than just sitting and letting it stew. And I had to sit and let that shit stew like I'm doing right now and make a whole pot of gumbo with it because that was not any type of feel good when it was once said and done. I still felt the same way before I even laid down with her. So I had to mature from that standpoint real quick.
Yeah.
Couldn't even say. She said, "Shut up." No, we need your comments. Come on, I do like your comments. Come on, give us some feedback. Yeah, so that was my crash out.
I crashed out a lot when I was in my late teens. I think back, I did some stupid stuff. In a necessary relationship crashing out, I'm like, if I know, but I think I was mentally fucked up because some stupid crash out for no reasons I did. You know, um, I'm trying to think. I never really broke anything in that type of crash out. When I think about had breakups.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I had some heart wrenching moments where your stomach hurt, like
Yeah.
like it hurts so bad you gotta go take a boo boo. Man, that's them breakups. But I never did anything. never crashed out, or 'cause I don't know if it's always in my. I think it's kind of windowed away from my nature to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Not to the point where I'm not thinking about the consequences.
Yeah. I've
Eh,
always thought about the consequences of my actions, and just knowing the consequences always tailored me from doing crazy crash outs like we're talking about here on today's topic. 'Cause those are like they don't care if they go to jail or not, or they gotta pay fine or not. It's like I ain't finna do all that now. I'm gonna crash out a different way.
right,
I'm
but
not finna tell my shit.
yeah,
Gotta go buy it again.
I but the crashing out is like you said, the lack of. Let me bring definition back.
Go ahead,
Come
sir.
on,
Crash it out.
bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
is a without thinking about the consequences. You road raging over your relationship, over a relationship that you broke up, or break up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now, what you know? I don't know what percentage of people who break up and get back together, but the consequences of things that you do or said can ultimately keep you from succeeding if you get back together.
Yeah.
What's said can never be taken back.
Yeah.
Apologies don't make amnesia. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. I've heard that comment before. But you think about crash outs and you put it on social media, like you said, we back together, we not together, I'm gonna talk about you and cuss you out. How does that look to the next person that you're trying to date? Oh, I know you. You that social media guy that crashed out and cussed your ex out. And you want to talk to me? I'm not gonna put myself in that situation to
Man,
be
preach on it.
subject to that. No.
Preach on it. And the one who's
Consequences.
yeah, and what the consequence another consequence is?
Yeah.
The one that's going to accept you knowing that all this, and guess what's going to happen? What's the topic? Is it process or toxic?
Yeah.
You probably just met your max because you're in a toxic place. You
Yep.
never meet a person properly
Yep.
being in that in that mental or emotional space.
Yep.
So guess what? It'd be 8. Y'all break up. Guess what happens? It'd be 8 flat tires.
8 flat tires.
8
4
flat
busted
tires.
windows.
Yeah,
2 people in jail.
yeah. Y'all couldn't drive around the corner if you put your 2 cars together.
You gotta move out of state. Nobody
Yeah,
gonna talk to you.
yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Like, what people do, people like, but the ones who are in the emotional and mental space, they ain't dealing with you.
No.
Not for no real term. And like in key word real term, that means I'm looking for something real, not something play.
Yeah. Got time to be getting worked up
Yeah.
over probably something minute and small, and they just take it to the 10th degree. And now you gotta sit here and babysit, wait till they calm down just to get a word in. Am I doing it?
You know, do I say all right, so I don't want to get confused or get it miscrewed that some form of crash out, it's gonna happen. It happens. And we kind of lose control, not in a physical way. I want to say I don't want it to be in a physical way, but in an emotional outburst way. And yes, is it dangerous? Yes,
Mhm.
because some things could never be unsaid or unheard or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that we should happen all the time. It should act more like it should be a rare occurrence. But how do we deal? We should learn how to deal with it. And I'm not and I'm be real. I have to learn those steps as well to make sure I don't let them outbursts come, no more than they should. You know, because think about it. All right, I'm gonna give a example that might be a crash out, a death,
Mm.
and that right now, so if my wife was to, die or anything like heaven forbid or whatever, I will crash out. I'm not gonna not physically do something to somebody, but I may want to have to punch a wall. I may have to just release.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about, oh, I gotta fix that wall later
Yeah.
or
That's
something like that.
understandable.
But it's like for that moment, I have to release.
Yeah.
And then why I put in the title, is it a process? Is it processing or toxic?
That's definitely processing because those thoughts go through you, those sudden changes when the loved one has passed. We've all experienced those emotions, right?
Right. So if I love somebody so much and I feel they betrayed me and I gave all I have.
Yeah.
I did this so much for this one person. I gave so much of what I thought was right and this, that,
Yeah.
and other, and to feel betrayed.
Mm.
Is that not worth a crash out? You see what I'm saying?
You're gonna punch a wall. You're
Right.
gonna punch a wall.
It's you punch a wall, or whatever. But I'm not thinking about I get repair or I gotta call this. I'm not may not get my deposit back if I'm renting, or
Yeah.
I gotta call a handyman if I for my house, or fuck, I just broke my hand because you punched the wall and you hit a stud.
Ooh. Yeah.
Unless you Kung Fu Jack, you ain't breaking that wood stud in the wall
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
holding the house up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That causes it will cause pain and discomfort. And sometimes when people crash out, they don't even feel that at the time until hours later.
yeah. So this is why I wonder: is crash out necessarily bad? I don't know. This will be the discussion.
It is a discussion. Based on the video that you interjected into this conversation, that was bad. It was something more subtle of him just punching the wall because of death in the family. I could agree with him on that. That didn't look like it was a death in the family. More like she left him or she cheated and he found out or something like that. And he is acting out his kid side.
Maybe he's grieving the relationship.
Ooh, wow. Now that's something that's never, maybe it's another show, but that's something that's never talked about. How should we grieve in a relationship if a relationship ends? Because we're all told to move on and move forward and just accept. Yeah, jot that down. So that's gonna be another show.
No, I was looking for I was look. Hold on. This
You got something?
it's not a. Oh, not this one. Hold on.
Okay.
Because when I say, dang it, she. It's
Crashing out.
yeah. So it's not that she gonna get mad because I don't know if I'm supposed to show this one, but hey,
Grief. Mm,
but
there we go.
it was next to my hand. So
Nice.
because my babe brought me like we grieve a lot of things other than not just death.
Yeah.
And I looked, and that was part of some of the things in the book. You gotta grieve. You're not grieving just death. A lot of things like you grieve.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So
Good plug, sir. I like that.
and yeah, go Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, go get your copy. Go to the website, kidscoaching.com. But these are things that, like I said, one of the things I just want to express to crash out. Usually I get hyped, but the things we talked about tonight, I was just thinking, it was like when we started talking about personal experiences, like, okay, we really have to kind of step back, like you said, step back and peel back the layers of the onion.
Mhm.
And what happens when you peel onions? You cry. You know, the shit stink, but it's got to be done.
Yeah.
Um, handling um the breakups, crash out, or just sitting with yourself, or just talking to somebody is
You're
it's
saying,
I'm listening.
oh, well, no, we're talking about crashing out pertaining to breakups. People crash out when they can't get their ways. You've seen a 5-year-old crash out when he can't get something he wants?
Oh
A
yeah,
little baby crash out when
color
she
whoop
can't.
ass.
But see, that's where it starts. So if you don't instill that discipline and break that habit up, they crash out at 2 because they can't get what they want. They crash out at 5 because you didn't buy them a toy. They crash out at 10. And I'm again talking from personal experience because I have to play the role of stepfather because they can't get what they want. And now they 18, 25, 30, and they making TikTok videos of them crashing out, doing the same thing they did when they could have been stopped long time ago. Long time.
Okay. If you want to talk about that fashion, I'm make there's a I'm making millions, or I'm making 6 figures crashing out. Who's gonna tell me to stop? I'm making 6 figures crashing out on video from the world. Who's gonna tell me to stop?
The yes people are not going to tell you stop because they ride in coattail. But anybody who has an ounce of sense do.
Why would I stop? I'm doing big 6 figures. I ain't talking about 100, 200,000. I'm bringing home bank a month crashing out. Why would I stop?
It's I can't speak on that because when I say I can't speak on it because that person's whoever they may be scenario, you have to make sure you take care of your mental health. Because if you're crashing out for likes, at some point that shit gonna get old. And what you're gonna do because you're a one trick pony. If you can make millions off that and you have other endeavors you can make money, maybe it's time to deflect and navigate to those other things and bring them into the fold because crashing out, Johnny Knox style, jackass style, even that shit is old, right? You're gonna get old. They get old. You can't keep crashing out even Knievel style. You're gonna die on that shit, man.
I
You're
mean,
not gonna make it.
you got a point. I accept you. I accept your point. You know, if you're smart enough to make money. If you're smart enough to make money from one way, you're smart enough to make it another way. You know, I got you. You know, I can't be 55 crashing out until I'm getting rich off of this.
Unc them ain't crashing out because nobody watching it, nobody tuning in at that age.
Yeah,
They tune into the youngsters, right?
yeah.
But when you get older, ain't nobody watching your old ass crash out.
I was say, sit your old ass down.
Sit your old ass shit. Go take a nap.
Yeah.
Crashing out. Y'all emotional and shit.
He gonna take a nap. I'm with you.
Yeah, because it's a little different when and maybe that's again, that's like think that's the social media thing because it was shunned upon when people get at a certain age beyond youth and they still do things that the young people do. Now you got old aunties and them, right? They hanging out with the young folks and wearing the tight skirts. You got the old head guys, still think they are 25. They not
And
necessarily crashing out, but it's like I'm not gonna
so
be 62 in the club. I'm telling you now. You got some people who's 78 still going to the club. What are you doing?
so you bring up a point, and this is something I just when you said it, I'm like, oh, at one point did we say the older generation should emulate the younger generation, then the younger generation emulate the older generation? At what point did when I mean by this, not mean the why should we do more immature things because we hang around people who has less experience than the younger doing mature things for those who have lived life longer and done more things. You know,
Yeah, it's the attention.
you know,
You get more attention acting ass than you do if you come button up, and that's just the bottom line of that aspect. We all know that. Young, I mean, not young men, but people who are mature, more quiet and confined, don't get as much attention than some young head running around bragging and boasting and flashing money.
yeah. And this is what's
Shining.
lead. This was leading to the crashing out on relationships. So
Yeah.
let's analyze something.
Yes, sir.
What can we do? What would be the advice or step or shift mentally? What do you think is necessary in your opinion?
Uh, One thing is what we're doing here, uh, providing that outlook, that aspect for people who want to tune in and listen and can see and hear a different perspective. Secondly, when we went to the men's mental health retreat situation where you have people all different walks of life talking about their scenarios, some even talk about crashing out and how they come together and then now have a purpose, a change, a perspective. Having situations like that where people can attend free, not making them pay $100 at the door because you got some ex-cowboy playing, speaking, right? Give people the opportunity and the outlet to come as they are so they can hear the message, heed the message, and maybe learn something from the message.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I think as adult men, more mature men, and as we hang around a upcoming generation, we need to learn not to be moved by money, but by through wisdom and experience. Oftentimes, we are moved by he make this. This young buck is making 5 million a year, and I'm hanging around him or her or whoever the young buck. I'm accepting and promoting and emulating the crash out behavior because I'm moved by the monetary and not the morality.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm getting at. And that's what it's have to really shift. We need to focus on the morals and not necessarily the anything opposite of morals. We have to, you know, if I can instill some of my experiences maybe to somebody else, say we a lot of times we joke about the old folks, the old men under the tree,
mhm,
and they telling stories.
mhm,
If our stories are one of this what I did, I was stupid, da da da, maybe, or this is a story how you handle something properly. Maybe when the next time, or when that person, the younger generation, is in that situation, they remember that.
yeah,
Not necessarily we talking about how I mess with all these women around town.
yeah,
We got to. I think it just their narrative, and don't be ashamed to change the narrative.
exactly.
Not our our ego. I'm still learning about ego, how much that comes up. But who said what sound more interesting to a young man? Hey man, shit. When I was 25, I was I was knocking them down. Shit, I ain't think about that. I had this one here. I had one here, and I would when I finish out, I'll go to her friend house. Shit. Or now I'm the same story. Yeah, when I was your age, I was messing around with a lot of women, but that's not right. Because what I did, I was manipulating one, simultaneously hurting this other one. Now they can't. Now they had a hard time bouncing into the next relationship or going to the next relationship because of what I did.
Mhm.
You know, you know what? Even when I met your mama, we went through some hard times because I was doing some dirt, and through her grace, she forgave me,
Yeah.
and I'm here and able to help raise you and try to give and make sure you have a stable home.
Mhm.
Those are the things that I'm talking about. Those changing the conversation and not work, not making it about boasting,
Yeah.
but boosting one's
I like that.
community. Yeah, yeah. So it's getting to that time, Don.
Yes, sir.
You know, and this was it wasn't how I'm not gonna lie to you. This wasn't how I envisioned this conversation going, but I actually enjoyed it a lot.
I did too.
You know,
The crashing out aspect, the way you worded it and presented it, makes me look at it entirely different than my thought process.
you know, and that's what Data Affirm The Real is. We want to we want open dialogue. You know, I I don't know anybody's vision who is emotionally 2020.
Yeah.
We just got all we doing we sharing, talking, communicating,
Yeah.
and with that we have to promote positivity and growth. This is why I ask anybody who sees these videos, please share it, pass it on, like it, anything. If we make 100 videos, 1,000 videos, and it starts helping a minor or minuscule people change their thought, is it worth it?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, because nobody's experience is unique. And now I'm like a sentence with no commas. I'm about to run on. So so with that being said, Don, you got any closing remarks?
No closing remarks, but I will say, please like, share, subscribe. These videos that we make, me and Marcus, we speak from the heart, we speak from the soul. Hopefully, it will resonate in somebody.
It does, it will, and keep on doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm your host, Marcus Goodwin, and that is Say It To 'Em.
The poet, Junior Lilly.
And we out.
Peace.